Everything should be 75% off all the time.
Hey,
Hey,
everybody.
everybody, there we are. We are live from New York.
Yes.
It's Saturday night. No, we're not in New York.
No, praise
That's
God.
what. Do they still say that
I don't
on
know because
Saturday
I
Night Live?
haven't watched Saturday Night Live in so long.
Since it was funny,
Yeah.
which would be what, about 25 years?
We got K Noonan
Yes.
and we have Metro
Yeah.
Sky
And Nerd is
and we got
here.
Nerd.
Tommy Fletcher.
Yes. Hey, Tommy, how are you? And David McNichol, Blue Splash. It's Saturday Night Live with Open by Chance.
Yeah.
Saw your short video. Oh no, I can't do this. Hold
The
on.
jars of jelly. Oh, you got to change that font.
Hold on, I
The cursive font.
that cursive is messing me up.
Just pick anything.
Yeah, I am.
It's all the same.
Okay.
No, I did not buy the jars of jelly.
No.
It's I had done that short that one time because in that one antique mall they had that
Hey, doll
bases here. They had that and raccoon eyes. That 2-liter glass bottle of Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke, I think it was from like.
There was some mint. We were at the antique mall and they had that big old jar of mint.
Yes, but
okay,
I did a short
of
the
hey,
Pepsi or Coke bottle because it's like 41 years old or something. It's pretty old, sealed back when they still made glass bottles for that stuff. And I put it on, and people were on the short going, "Oh, you need to send that to Mr. B to LA Beast. Send that to LA Beast. You need to buy that and send it to LA Beast." And I'm like, "Oh, who's LA Beast?" Man, they got mad at me. They got so pissed. It cussed me out for not knowing who that was. Like, I know everybody on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Actually, he got a a show because it's a chicken place, a wing shop, and they play. It's a channel that
Not
play
Mr. Beast, LA Beast.
right.
Okay.
He goes around to restaurants. I think it's the guy.
Okay.
And he eats like whatever they. Some restaurants got that challenge, and he goes around all over the place and eat whatever is on the challenge. I think that's the guy. I think. Hey, Pastor Rick.
But they got pissed off, and it's like, I don't know who everybody is.
Oh, that cursive was too much. I can read cursive. New people can't read cursive. But I can. But when you're doing this, you want to keep up and you want to read fast. Cursive is not something you read fast. You gotta read cursive slow. Bring your bread on the hunt.
Yeah, because of the jelly jars.
Oh.
Yeah, they were still sealed. I'm like, yeah, you see the Welch's jelly jars all over the place.
Oh, Robert.
But you never see them sealed.
No.
And Robert wants to know if I got Betty Boop for $600.
That's how much it was?
Yeah.
Oh,
hell no. If it was like $20, I probably would have picked it up, but not $600. No, I didn't get the jelly jars. Yeah, Munin doesn't know who that is either. Apparently, he's a big YouTuber, but he eats old food.
Oh, this ain't the guy then.
Yeah, he'll if you send him, if he has an MRE from like 1972, he'll open it up and eat it. Stuff like that.
A cast iron stomach.
I guess so. But they were like, yeah, which now I understand why they meant, oh, you should send it to him. But then, which I'm not going to do that anyway. But don't get mad because I don't know who somebody on YouTube is. Give me a break. Dollbase says, I connected to your Star Wars collection. The first Star Wars movie had
premiere
16th of December 1977. I think I'll celebrate it this year by uploading my collection.
Oh,
we'll go quick.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I just did my Star Wars journey. It's the first one I've been able to do in a while.
Yeah,
because I found a bunch of Star Wars stuff at both shows.
Yeah,
the retro toy swap and the Conyers toy and comic show.
The Conyers show was really nice. They had a lot of vintage stuff.
I like that.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of people, but it was a lot of vintage stuff. I'm not into the stuff that they had, so I bought like 2-3 records and that spinograph thing.
Spirograph.
Yes. But they had a lot of vintage stuff. Excuse me, I was impressed with the amount of vintage stuff they had.
Yeah,
I thought it was really nice. And
as opposed to seeing tons and tons of Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series.
I mean, they had that made an appearance. Funko made an appearance, but
of course,
you had more vintage than you did that stuff. Now at the retro toy swap, you had a little more modern. It was more of a balance.
Yes.
At the Conyers, you had more vintage, and I like that.
Yeah, and again, I pointed out in the video during the retro how cheap some of that stuff was. I mean, they were selling it for like $10 a piece.
Yeah.
Unit says they went to Target for food.
You buy food at Target?
Passed by the toy section, saw Venom peg warming despite being on sale. All the wrestling trash in the clearance aisle where it belongs. Oh my!
Target is too expensive to buy food there.
And you gotta go to Kroger. Tommy said, "Never heard of L.A. Beast. Used to watch a different guy who ate old army rations."
No.
Yeah, I never heard of him either, but people got mad, and it's like, what do you want from me? Give me a
break. I don't know how people. I don't.
Yeah, what are you upset about?
Well, I don't see the I guess excitement or thrill or desire to watch that somebody eating old food.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, everybody got their thing, and I guess it is a thing because those people get millions of views.
I bet you if I bought one of those jars of jelly and I put it on some toast and ate it, I'd probably get 3 million views. Isn't that sad?
That Seriously. Jelly probably still good.
It is a preserve.
Yeah, because you pop that top.
Because I felt the tops of those, they're still vacuum sealed, so the jelly probably is good. Even though
probably tastes better than the brand new one you buy at Kroger.
And it's those are early '90s. The rounded jar from Welch's is right at the tail end of when they were still doing that because they haven't done it since the '90s. That was the very end of it. Blue Splash says, "Got to be honest, I did like that one table at the toy swap where they had those Marvel Legends all in the plastic bags, and they were pretty good priced." And you heard what he said, right? Because I did catch it on the video. That's the guy that says that if he can't get rid of them today, he's going to burn them for heat. Because he's
just joking.
Well, he said, well, I mean, joking or not, he was like, "Yeah, I just want to get rid of them. I'll burn them for heat." And I was like, "You're going to set fire to the tables?" And he was like, "No, the tables are actually worth something." And it was on the audio, so I left it.
Oh, okay. They had some food on sale.
Okay.
But we got a gift in the mail.
Yeah, and that was from Christopher. And Christopher actually sent us. We just picked it up from the P.O. box. Top Gun Maverick, which is the sequel to the original Top Gun.
Yeah.
As
we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet, and he sent it to us because, from what we've heard, one of the few modern films that still has like that cinematic feel. So thank you for that. Very, very.
And I've heard a lot of good things about that. That it didn't. That he kept it in line with the original. It didn't like stray and put in all of the modern day agendas and anything political. It just stuck pretty much with the storyline, and I've only heard good things about it.
Yes.
So
thank you for that, Christopher. And Mickle is here. He says, "Hope you're well. Hope you two are ready for Christmas. I feel like a chicken with its head out of running around trying to get ready." Yeah, well, we don't do Christmas like all that.
No.
But, we don't decorate and there's no tree and all that. But, Robert says, "I've seen some McFarlane Marvel statues. Actually look cool. He's better with statues, I guess. That Incredible Hulk statue looks cool. I think they go for like 50. They're vinyl, aren't they? I thought those are the vinyl ones." And Unit says, "Saw the 2012 Ninja Turtles at Burlington today. A lot of anime figures and shirts. I may have gone overboard. I think I bought every Dragon Ball Z shirt."
Yeah. Oh, so they got the 2012 figures at your Burlington too.
As well.
I was shocked when I saw those figures because again, it's from 2012. That's like 12 years ago. So, and I remember buying those figures.
Yeah.
Probably in 2016, 2017 or something like that. And now they got it for like $10. When I bought it was like $20, $25, something like that. And I bought it at a toy show. and the person had the whole set, so I had bought the whole set. Um, and again, they weren't that old when I bought it, but I mean, now you would have think they're long gone. But I guess Burlington just had a bunch, or somebody had a
Or it
bunch,
sits
and
there every year and they pack it back up and bring it
yeah,
out again.
yeah, somebody had some and dumped it off there. I just thought that was weird for
Yeah.
a figure that old to still be on the shelf, and then at that price, $10. And I looked it up. They don't really go for much because I was going to tell David in case he wanted some, but
Yeah.
in case you just wanted to resell it. I mean, we don't really do that, but I mean, if it's something
Yeah.
like that, from 2012 and they got some value, why not?
Yeah. If
Make
it
a
has
couple of
any
times.
value.
Yeah, and I looked it up. It don't really have a lot of value.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not over $50,
Yeah.
so I think it's still holding at the $20-$25 range.
And then I'll have another GI Joe journey video
Oh
coming up here
yeah.
soon,
Mm-hmm.
very soon,
We have to
because
film it.
I just had a birthday.
His birthday was Thursday.
Yeah, and LPH got me some big crazy GI Joe thing. And so we'll do a GI Joe journey here very
Mm.
shortly. So showcasing that, which is she surprised me. I wasn't expecting that at all.
No, you didn't offend us, Miko. We're fine with it. I mean,
Oh
that's
no,
just our,
yeah, that's just our way.
you know,
I have Santa and I get stuff like that because it's nostalgic for me. I mean,
yeah.
this is an old store display. I showed him a few weeks back, a couple of weeks back when I found them at a flea market. This is an 80s store display, he's 3 feet tall, and I'll pick up stuff like that. But we don't like all in do the Christmas thing.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not the
do
Cratchit family.
we acknowledge the nostalgia of it.
Yeah.
We watch the old shows because we grew up with
Oh yeah.
Christmas and all of that. But when it get down to the like finite religious aspect, it's where we start trying to cut it off. We're not going to go into that now.
Yeah.
But that's why we
Excuse me.
don't dig deep into it like we did as a kid.
Yeah.
But we do accept or acknowledge the nostalgia of it. So
Mhm.
no, we're not offended at all by no means. That's just what it is.
Sure. Munin says the NECA quarter scales sold at Burlington. I guess the 2012 figures is what they replaced it with.
Man, those quarter scale,
They were expensive.
yeah, I got those. Um yeah, I got those when it came out. They're expensive. But wow, I wonder what they were selling for. I would have got another set to
Maybe.
sell.
And all the
I would have
trouble
bought.
you went through chasing those around when they came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were hard to find.
Yeah.
They really were. They were hard to find. I actually got one on clearance at Toys R Us.
When
One of
they
the
were going out of business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the figures were at Target.
And it was the Turtle in Disguise version.
Yeah.
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 That's right. And Mickle said that Star Wars episode was a really cool, fun episode. Well, thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy 16th. Sweet birthday. 16. That's right. Thank you,
Yeah.
Blue Splash.
David
and
don't
everybody.
remember when he was 16.
You
Everybody's telling you
I don't
happy
know what
birthday.
I was doing when I was 16.
Running the streets.
Probably, yeah, because I sure wasn't having a birthday party.
I do love the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I like that when it came out. I didn't realize that came out in '89. Chance from Nostalgic Pod Blast, he had put up a thing a couple of weeks ago or a week ago saying that it came out in 1989. And I thought it came out like in the mid 90s or something. It had just felt newer than the others.
Yeah, Vegas Vacation was the last one. I think that was in the early 90s.
I saw Vegas.
Mickle likes Muppet Christmas Carol.
I never saw that. I think we're supposed to watch that this year. We saw one of the Christmas carols last night. Man, they flew through they flew through it. Of the holiday created by Coca-Cola.
Well, Santa, the modern incarnation of Santa. And Mickle said, "Is it? Oh, happy birthday!"
Yeah.
Also, yeah. As long as I'm with my wife, I'm having a good day. And
Coke.
she's about the only one that's ever like fully acknowledged it, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. Coke
But
created the Santa, the modern
hmm
incarnation of Santa Claus.
yep. If Robert says you have the quarter-inch turtles, you should do a video on them.
Yeah,
Where
I
are they
have the
packed up?
whole. Yeah, them things all packed up.
Oh
I
no.
got the whole set: the four turtles, the shredder, the foot soldier.
Yeah.
I think it was a splinter. In it.
Uh-huh.
What? They were
$25.
wow. Man, when those things came out, they were 150.
And Renard is there. He says
Hey,
Mego
Bernard.
said they are reissuing some vintage DC figures. Batman, John
Oh,
Jones,
John
Hawkman.
Jones.
Yeah, we showed those on a roundup a while back.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be getting those though.
Oh, you
Pee
saw
Wee
the Pee
Herman's
Wee?
Christmas is pretty funny with all of the stars, and then he had like 50 guest stars making cameos,
Yeah.
and he Whoopi Goldberg calls him on the phone and he blows her off, which was kind of funny. He was like, yeah, I'm all full up this year. And then my favorite though is the Santa list at the end of it when he's like,
Oh, yeah.
Santa says to him, well, I'm kind of done for the night because your list is so long, there's nothing left for any of the other children. And then Pee Wee is like, oh, that's too bad. Well, let me know how it turns out. Like, that's classic. And everybody is staring at him and they're like, Pee Wee, what?
Now that's sad.
Metro,
Mm-hmm.
he says on a Facebook post, someone's husband had donated all of her
Mm.
Smurfs she collected and played
Mm.
with as a child. Her husband didn't know the sentimental value
He
to her.
should ask.
If they knew each other, he wouldn't have to.
At least should ask.
Don't get me going. Because, yeah, if they knew each other,
Yeah.
unless he did that to be mean on the slide.
And then try to say,
I'm
"Oh, I
so
didn't know that means
sorry.
something."
I
Maybe
didn't.
she had it
Yeah.
in a box and he never saw it before.
That's heartbreaking. That is
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
it is, Tommy.
But oh man, Mickle says,
Mm-mm.
"I envy LPH. I wish I could watch Muppet Christmas Carol for the first time again. Great movie for you. It's a treat."
Yeah.
And we watch all that kind of stuff, and you know the Grinch, Charlie Brown Christmas, Emmett Otter, which is a
Yeah.
really good one. Shaun the Sheep, which flies under the radar. Shaun the Sheep is freaking hilarious. It's the same guy who did Wallace and Gromit. He did a television show called Shaun the Sheep, and they have Christmas episodes that are hilarious. Mickle says we watched Pee Wee's Christmas for the
Mm-hmm.
first time, and it's one crazy special. The kids loved it. I felt like I was in a fever dream. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I saw it.
And
I
the
found it
Smurfs
in
have a Christmas
the
special that's pretty good
Smurf one
too.
is good.
Yeah,
The Pee Wee one, I found it and put it up on my channel and watched it, and it was funny.
yeah, it's pretty funny.
I forgot how funny
Weird.
Pee Wee's
Yeah.
Playhouse is.
Well, he knew adults were watching,
Yeah,
which
so
is why he had celebrities on there no kid would have recognized. I mean, he had Annette Funicello on there,
yeah.
you know, and Frankie Valli, and it's like, yeah, if you were watching TV or in the '60s, you'd know who they were.
Yeah.
No kid in the early '90s would
Grace
have known
Jones.
who they were. Yeah.
I don't know if
Dennis the
Dennis the
Menace.
Menace.
I don't know if Dennis the Menace had one. Robert says, I've seen Toys for Tots box empty. I don't think anyone would put anything cool in those boxes anymore.
I don't think people trust it anymore.
Yeah.
Because
maybe
they had scams, and I know here in the Atlanta area a couple of years back, there was a big scam. This woman scammed a bunch of organizations, stores and people, because she convinced them to give money instead of toys. And a lot of the organizations, I guess for them, it was easier to just give money.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, she had zero to do with Toys for Tots. She stole, I don't know, I ain't gonna say millions, but it was some thousands of dollars she stole.
Yeah.
And I forgot how she got found out, but she got found out that year.
Somebody must have checked up on it because it ain't hard.
Yeah.
You call them, they'll tell you. Raccoon says Nestor the long-eared donkey used to make me cry. Stop motion like Rudolph. Yeah, it's a Rankin Bass production.
I never heard of that.
And another, it's like Drummer Boy.
I saw the Little Drummer Boy last year. That was sad.
Yeah, it's not funny. I mean, the rest of them are kind of humorous and entertaining, like any of the Rudolph stuff. Santa Claus is coming to town. That's what you expect. But or Christmas in July is one, stuff like that, or Baby New Year. Rankin Bass did a bunch of those, but Nestor and Little Drummer Boy, serious as a heart attack.
Little Drummer Boy was good. I really enjoyed that. Oh, you got to watch Pee Wee's Playhouse.
It's fun.
It is.
I've got it on disc.
I watched it as a kid when it came out every Saturday.
And also, Weird Al Yankovic had a similar show.
Oh, did he?
A lot of people aren't aware of it, and he used to have guests on, like Macho Man Randy Savage used to come by.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think he only got as far as one season, but it was very similar to Pee Wee's Playhouse, live action, just like that.
Well, anyway, I saw a video.
Did you?
Yeah, and it because today we went to a antique mall, and going through the antique mall reminded me of a video that we saw earlier this week. It was a video a person did on YouTube. They went to an antique mall and they saw some comic books, and it was high. I mean, really high. He showed, the prices on
what they should cost.
Yeah, and what they were. He showed like the eBay sales and then what the person had for sale. So then today we went to the antique mall. And we don't normally go to this one. It's right down the street from us. We never go there hardly. We've been there a few times. But man, those prices were high. And then they had records. And the records were 50% off and 75% off. And they were so high. They were marked up like they had the Association. It's a band from, I don't know, I guess the 60s. And you can find that anywhere for under $5. This person had it for like $25. And I'm like, what is your problem?
Stuff at the antique malls. I don't know. I think that when people talk about, I found these great comics at an antique mall, I think they made it up. I don't believe them. Because every time I'm at an antique mall and I see comic books or vinyl records or anything, really, it's rare that you find something that's like, hey, that's not a bad price. Most of the time, it's either spot on or way out there for some reason.
Yeah. And I'm just sitting there and I'm looking through these records. And it wasn't just the records. They had other things that was just like, where are you getting these prices? They are so high. And you're like, and I remember the guy in the video, he was saying, they make the prices so high because they have to pay booth fees. Yes. And I can see that. Those booth fees.
And they take a percentage of the sale as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they take a piece of that. I don't know how much, but
But I don't know. The only hint you're gonna get is that it's a vehicle, and that's all.
Oh, you're not gonna tell them?
Okay. I don't care. It's
Blue Splash said they grew up on Pee Wee Playhouse was awesome. Actually, trying to look for some of the figures. Matchbox made those.
Oh, okay, Matchbox.
Yeah, Matchbox. Most of them are still relatively affordable. What's going to hurt you is the Playhouse. The Playhouse can get expensive.
Ernest had a.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny, how are you doing?
Johnny's there.
Working. Okay. Have a good night at work.
Robert says, do you guys always go to flea markets and antique malls every weekend?
Not every weekend.
Occasionally. Not all the time.
Yeah, not every weekend.
Munit says, I know that Betty Boop was a half-scale statue, but 600 is asinine, 50 and no more. I don't know where it came from or what it's actually worth. I'm just like, I saw it, and I was like, that would be cool, but nah, not for $600.
But I did get some records.
She did get some records.
Let me see. I got 4. And like I said, they were 75 and 50% off. And with that markdown, it brought it down enough to where it was tolerable. But if they had just sold it for the half off and 75% price, the place wouldn't be piled up with records. So I got the Hollies, the best of the Hollies.
Yeah.
I like the Hollies. I don't really like best ofs, but I got that one. Leo Slayer, he sings that song, You Make Me Feel Like Dancing, that I always thought the Bee Gees sang.
It does sound like the Bee Gees, actually.
And y'all probably don't remember the Boys. They used to sing that song "Dial My Heart." This is just a single though. It's not the whole thing. It's a single, but it's
and
the
then
Boys.
On the back here, I mean, look at how they got they got them posing like they're all hard on the front, and that one kid looks like he's about 4. And then on the back here, these poses.
They were kind of big, but at the time you had a lot going on. You had New Edition out at the time, New Kids on the Block. They came out during that time, so it was too much little kids going on. Yeah, so they didn't do as well as they could have, but they weren't bad. Okay. But and then the last one, Pete Townsend.
Who came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah. Who came first, Pete Townsend or the Who?
Ah, there you go.
I think that's what he's going.
Is it?
I think so, because he wrote all the songs in the Who. Did you guys like the Christmas episode from the classic shows like Bewitched, Gilligan Island, Annie Griffin, Lucy? I never saw any of those. Watch them. They are great. Now, I know I wouldn't watch the Lucy one because I'm not a fan of Lucy. Yeah. Gilligan Island and Annie Griffin I would watch, but not
Annie
Lucy.
Griffin's really underrated.
Annie Griffin brings tears to your eyes.
Yeah, and then, of course, the Alf Christmas special, which is, I always bring it up because that'll surprise you how good it is.
Okay, Robert found himself buying old comics he used to have back in the day, mainly because I remember the great covers and stories I remember.
Frankie Frog is
Frankie
here.
Frog.
Tommy remembers the Boys.
Oh, Tommy remember the Boys.
Robert says he had that Leo Sayer record. I look so much like Richard Simmons. Richard Simmons.
Richard Simmons died, didn't he?
He did recently. Blue Splash says been going through the attic and thought a lot of my old stuff when I was a kid. Found a lot of vintage Thing toys, VHS tapes, Micro Machines, Z-Bots. Oh yeah. The old Toy Biz 3-inch metal Marvel figure. Oh, the little die-cast ones. They came in a 2-pack. They used to sell a lot of those at KB. Lincoln Logs. Lincoln Logs was classic. I have an original Lincoln Log set in here.
You heard Pete Townsend like.
Shame on you.
I don't know. I don't know.
You got that other thing there too.
Oh yeah.
This
is a thrift store Goodwill. It's a Care Bears cake pan.
It's Birthday Bear.
Yeah. Care Bears cake pan.
Coincidentally enough. And it looks like they didn't clean it out from the last time they used it.
Yeah, it still got
cake in it.
A
piece of flour in there.
Yeah, right
you
there.
To taste it and see if it's vanilla. But yeah, Birthday Bear. So you can make a Birthday Bear cake if you really want to.
Yeah, I could.
You could.
It shocks me that anything Elf is even remotely. That Christmas one was really good.
The Christmas one, it starts off like a typical Alf episode.
Yeah.
Where with him being a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And then
it turns on you.
He takes off, he gets lost, and something happens, and then you find out later on it's linked to a true story.
Yeah.
And then that really just sinks it for you because it's really tragic.
Yeah.
Little bit of a spoiler. Alf ends up in basically a hospice for children. So everybody there is dying. Yeah. And then the whole veneer of I'm the wisecracking pain in the ass alien just drops.
Yeah.
When it dawns on him. And that one's a tearjerker.
And then the two characters, the special characters were real people that died. Yep. And it tells you all that at the end. So it was pretty sad, but it was a good episode.
It's the best thing they ever did with
Elf.
Yeah.
It really was. found also an old Toys R Us train set from the
Yeah,
90s.
you see those every once in a while. Is it still in the box? Robert says, I wonder sometimes how so many households have something from Star Wars because it was such a huge cultural phenomenon at the time. You know, so many people, there were so many people that were alive during that time
Yeah.
period. I mean, it wasn't for everybody, but
No, we didn't have nothing Star
there
Wars
were
in our
so
house.
many people that um, that it was a big enough cultural phenomenon that a lot of households have a piece of that somewhere. Something, you
We
know.
didn't have a thing.
Well, you didn't, but
No, I mean in our house.
uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
I did a couple of pieces, a couple
Hmm.
of things, but you know, I know I've told those stories.
Yeah.
But and my one Luke, I still have him, and now Rancor can chew on him. I can put him in the Rancor's mouth. And Blue Splash says it's a loose set. That's okay.
Yeah, you got it.
But
That's
yeah,
all that matters.
every once in a while you see that. I know the one you're talking about, and it's got the on the box. It's got the Jeffrey giraffe in the corner,
Mm.
and it says Toys R Us on the train and everything. You know, it's
Does
just
it light up and stuff?
I don't know that it lights up, but it's
Mm.
it's got the circle track. It's meant to like run around the tree or something like that.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
pretty basic set, but
Mm.
that's it's nostalgic because Toys R Us is defunct.
Yeah.
It's gone.
I've seen those train sets people put around a tree and it just
Mhm.
go around the tree.
And that's all it does.
Yeah, it's all right for the first 2-3 minutes.
Oh yeah, until the cat attacks it and knocks it down, because
Or try to jump
the
on
cat's
it.
gonna get upset, and when the train goes away, that's the time. That's the time to pounce and tear it down. Munit says, I keep saying it, but it's truly sad what's become a Star Wars brand, once iconic, now fodder in the clearance aisle. Yeah, well, again, and I've talked about this many, many times. They, in the modern world, these agencies like Disney,
Mm-hmm.
they look at it purely as a franchise without giving any regard to what made it a cultural phenomenon in the first place, like is about to happen to Harry Potter.
I heard that Skeleton Crew ain't bad. I mean, granted, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I'll never watch it, but
And
I
and
heard
is
it's
it or
not
not?
bad.
I mean, because all the critics will love it. They'll rave. It's the best thing they've ever done. But not Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is destroyed now too, courtesy of Amazon.
Hey,
But
Bumble.
but who was it? The Harry Potter franchise is about to take a beating now. Everybody's already upset just from their casting. Bumble says, "What's the name of the brand they came out with the JJ Jimmy Walker doll? Do you have the Fraggle Rock related toys? I saw a Dozer in a box from '82,
Ooh, that's
but it
nice.
was expensive."
That's
Um,
Shindana.
yeah, Shindana. That's right, Shindana Toys. Oh yeah,
You
JJ
can
is
see it
right
right
here.
there.
That is the Shindana Toys JJ doll.
Yeah.
And Shindana made a bunch of action figures in like around 1976 ish. This is the 14-inch Jimmy Walker. They also had a larger pull string talking Jimmy Walker,
That said Dynamite.
basically, that was available in a closed off box and a window box. It came in both incarnations.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually pretty tough to find in decent shape. And they just stuck his face on there. Dynamite! Fun Pal, JJ the Fun Pal, as seen on the hit TV show Good Times by Shindana Toys. And this would be like 1975.
Mm.
And they also had a series of action figures, and they had other full string talking dolls, like they did Red Fox from
Sanford
and
Son.
Son and stuff like that. And they had action figures like they did O.J. Simpson, and they did Dr. J, and I have a few of those here.
Yeah, slot cars.
Slot cars are fantastic. Like there's my deluxe O.J. Simpson.
It's signed. Yeah. OJ want that back.
Yeah, this one, it's too late. He's gone.
Oh yeah, he died.
Yeah, he died.
That's right.
But yeah, this one is autographed and it is certified. But that's the deluxe version. They also did carded versions, and they did an Agent Slade that was supposed to be Richard Roundtree from Shaft, and there was a little trouble over that one. But they also had an action Wanda, which was their own proprietary action figure. And these are sort of Mego-like, but they're larger. This is actually 9.5 inches, not 8 inches.
Okay. Yeah, that's all they look at. They don't see any they don't have any pride in anything. They just see a cash cow. And that's all Disney sees. That's why they keep remaking all these different
that's
cartoons.
Regular edition.
Like they got a new Mufasa movie coming out because they just see money. Oh, let's cash in on the Lion King, because the Lion King was like their biggest grossing animated film.
Yeah.
But that's when they were still drawing, and it still had a good storyline and it still had good dialogue. Now Mufasa is going to be CGI.
Yeah, and it won't be James Earl Jones either. This is the basketball figure you're talking about, because they only ever did Dr. J. They only did 3 male figures. So Dr. J, O.J. Simpson, and Agent Slade, which again is a knockoff sort of Richard Roundtree from Shaft. And that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Didn't you have Florida? Not Florida.
Oh yeah, they did a 15-inch
from the Jeffersons. Florence.
Florence Henderson.
Yeah.
They
Florence.
did a 15-inch Flora Henderson. It looks like it's from the Jeffersons, but they used her real name.
Marla Gibbs.
Marla Gibbs. There you go.
Malcolm in the Middle. I never saw Malcolm in the Middle. Bumble thinks all of those are cool. Yeah, he is really skinny, but he was a skinny guy. That's really awesome.
Yeah, the Shindana Toys ones, they're tough to find.
JJ's, no, they didn't.
No, they only did JJ. JJ was the only one with any commercial viability from the show. Nope, but the other characters didn't resonate for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Blue Splash went through a whole shoebox full of basketball cards from the 90s and late 80s. Lots of stuff. And Munin says, never cared about Harry Potter, but I feel sorry for the fans that'll have their favorite franchise destroyed. We have to keep the people away from anime at all costs. Well, the thing is, I mean, when you get to the final film or the end of the story, I believe that, oh God, what is that professor's name? I'm trying to remember. Turns out to be, or they allude to, that it was really Harry's father in disguise the whole time.
You said that. Now they're going to make him black.
Yeah, that's not going to work. It's kind of like when they did that with the Fantastic Four and they made Johnny Storm black. And it's like, wait, is he adopted? Because Sue and Johnny are brother and sister. Yeah. Robert says OJ should have blonde hair. Oh, don't start that.
Yeah.
And yeah, Blue Splash says Dr. J was big in basketball.
No, and a knife.
Shame on you guys. Here we go.
I still watch the cartoon version. No CGI.
Yeah. And Metro says, yeah, the character was Florence Johnson. Florence Henderson was Mrs. Brady. I got them mixed up.
Yeah.
I got them mixed up.
Yeah, but you used to have that figure, didn't you? Get rid of it or put it away or something?
Yeah, it's put up.
Oh, okay.
It's put away. But yeah, it's a big doll. You know, I don't do dolls too often, but you know, she's you know, the connection to the TV show and all of that.
Yeah.
She was a real person.
Yeah.
Had some historical value. It's not very valuable, particularly, but they did stuff like all sorts of stuff like that. And of course, it was Shindana Toys, and they angled towards marketing things specifically for the black toy market at that time until they sold themselves. They sold out at some point. Robert says JJ was like Urkel. They made figures of him, but no one else. Yeah. He was the only one with marketability from the perspective of the show, if you could even consider that, because it was a drama. It was a comedy drama. It really wasn't meant for kids, even though it was in syndication forever when I was growing up.
Oh, you mean Good Times?
Yeah, I probably saw every episode of Good Times like 10, 15 times growing up on a UHF station in the early evening, because you get that lineup and it slowly builds towards more and more adult shows, because you get the you know, it'd be the Monkees and then the Brady Bunch and then Gilligan's Island, and then Welcome Back, Kotter would come on, and then Good Times, and then
I never saw
Sanford and
Welcome Back,
Son.
Kotter.
It's all right. The last season kind of sucked though, because again, John Travolta was gone.
Yeah.
Because he was doing movies, and then Gabriel Cotter, the guy who invented the show, wouldn't come on because he was having conflict with the producers, and it just didn't feel the same at all. But I mean, it started off okay. It was stupid, but it was fun. But it didn't present itself as not being stupid, so you could appreciate it for what it was, kind of like Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
You knew the show was doofy, but
Yeah, it didn't make an
they
ounce of
didn't try
sense,
to
but it was funny.
they didn't try to convince you that it wasn't.
Yeah.
So it was fine like that.
But shows that are like that, you can feel it and accept it. But now they make shows where they want you to believe it, but they don't do nothing believable. You know what I mean? Like on Gilligan's Island, they were on an island surviving. I mean, everything on it was just ridiculous, but it was acceptable. You know what I mean? It was made to be acceptable.
They weren't trying to insult your intelligence with it.
Yeah, but now these modern shows, it's like it's just ridiculous. It's like on the level of Gilligan's Island, but then they're mad because you won't accept it because it's stupid, because they want you to take it as serious when it's like, how can this be serious when it's so ridiculous?
I don't know. I don't like any of the modern stuff, anyways.
Yeah, Janet Jackson was on
there. Janet Jackson was on that show. That is correct.
And what's the one with Arnold? Arnold and the brother that got adopted by Mr. Drummond. Different Strokes.
Oh, Different Strokes. Yeah, Different Strokes. That show's dumb.
Other day, boy.
Blow Splash. Watched Gumby. Yeah, the Gumby was pretty cool.
We Gumby's watched fun.
That's funny.
We watched David and Goliath Christmas.
That David and Goliath is pretty good. Yeah. You know what's a really good one? The Halloween special.
Yeah.
The Halloween special. It's not really me if I'm in disguise. It's the disguise, because I'm a different person. So when he puts the costume on, oh, that's who broke the window, not me. That's who broke the light. It was pretty bad.
I tried to upload some David and Goliath on my channel, the Halloween one last year, and it wouldn't allow it. So I didn't try the Christmas. Well, I didn't know it was a Christmas one until this year, and we watched it. I'm gonna see if I can upload it. But the Christmas one was good. It's on YouTube. If you look it up, Davy and Goliath Christmas special.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
Yeah, and the Halloween special too. That's just a fun. It's a fun claymation along the line of Gumby, but not quite as fanciful.
The Gumby Christmas special was pretty good too, because it was the little guy, and he had his little girlfriend, and he was trying to get to the girlfriend to give her a gift, and he asked Gumby to go with him so he wouldn't be by himself, and they came into some trouble, and he actually killed a guy. And I'm like, oh, okay, he knocked the guy down, he's not dead, but the guy was dead.
Little X's on his eyes and everything.
I'm like, I'm not gonna kill somebody in a cartoon.
Because it's Gumby.
Yeah,
Gumby's a badass. Bumble wants to know if anyone remembers in 1983's Arco's The Mummy's Curse Glow in the Dark on card. Card art was great.
No.
Is that like I don't think it's an action figure, right? It's like a figurine of a glow in the dark mummy, and it comes with a sarcophagus. Is that the one?
Okay.
Blue Splat. Okay.
I read.
And Stone Sour made a kitty donation.
Yay!
Naturally, we appreciate it. All the help we can get taking care of our feline friends. We got 18.
Hey, James. 18, how are you?
18 shelter cats we are currently caring for. So we appreciate all the help we can get.
I'm bad behind cats.
Oh, they're sweet. They're little sweethearts. Although Pirate cut me. Johnny's favorite
And
Johnny
send them in the mail as
Johnny.
Johnny.
Oh no, I can't mail pirate. She didn't mean it though. She because she's climbing up on me when I'm putting the food out, and she bit my nose, and she actually cut my nose with her teeth. But she wasn't trying to be violent. She just so excited and purring and freaking out and rubbing her face on me. And then they bite sometimes, but it wasn't like aggressive. It was just too much. And Bumble says yes, so I guess that is the toy that we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
What are they usually run like what around the $7,500 range,
that's
something like
expensive.
that? Well, it's from the '80s. That's not too bad. Blue Splash says the cats around me are very active in the morning time, right when the sun comes up.
Yeah. The house
That's time
cats,
to hunt them squirrels.
Yeah, the house cats get very active around 5:30 in the morning.
That's because that's when we typically get up for work. So, they are used to that. So when we don't have to go to work, that doesn't click with them. And they're like, hey, let's start moving around.
Yeah,
it's time to get up.
Get my breakfast.
Yeah, where's my breakfast? And Robert says Hobo's the only one that counts. Hobo's he is a sweetheart though. Hobo's a sweetheart. He's a good boy. Poor Hobo. And you all know Hobo. Robert knows who Hobo is. He has no teeth. Poor guy. Poor guy. Big fat orange tabby. He didn't used to be.
He used to look bad.
He looked like he was on death's door when we first found him. But yeah, he's real healthy now. Took good care of him. I'm happy about that. I enjoy taking care of them. I enjoy taking care of them. I want to be a good steward for them. My little forest friends, as it were. I feel like Snow White. Snow White go out and she puts her hands up and sings, and all the birds land on her hands.
Speaking of Snow White, they're gonna redo that Rapunzel movie.
Oh no! Yeah, I heard that live action Rapunzel. Yeah, please.
And I'm like, Disney needs to take a break. Do they really want to do another live action disaster movie? I mean, they feeling it from Snow White, and it's not even out yet. The Beetleborgs Christmas special.
Frankenfrog. I remember Beetleborgs.
I don't remember.
And they had the ghost that was in the house, and it looked like a cross between Jay Leno and Elvis. I'm serious. And he's a ghost, is that right? But the Beetleborgs, those action figures I think are pretty affordable still.
What are Beetleborgs? I've heard of them, but I've never seen them, I don't think.
Kind of like Power Rangers.
Oh,
sort of. Mm-hmm. But the only Rapunzel that counts is the one from Rocky and Bullwinkle. When they did this Fractured Fairy Tales. Fractured Fairy Tales Rapunzel was not Rapunzel, Rumpelstiltskin.
I love the Temptation Silent Night.
Okay.
I like that. I like Boys the Men. I really, honestly, okay, I know it sounds crazy. I don't really like Christmas music.
Okay.
But I like it if there's not a lot of bells in it. Like the Temptation Silent Night and Boys the Men, they'll sound fine. I can listen to that. But like that traditional stuff like Jingle Bells and anything with a lot of bells in it, it's just I don't know. I just don't like the sound of the bells and all of that goings on. I don't like that. So I can tolerate some Christmas songs.
Okay.
But not a lot.
My favorite Christmas album? The Charlie Brown Christmas.
I ain't like the Charlie Brown movie. We watched it last week. And that's the first time I ever realized how bad they treated Charlie Brown.
It's about his
they treated him.
It's about bad. His perseverance though. Because
those
everybody
kids are bullies.
If you ask anybody who they most identify with from any of that, it's always Charlie Brown, because we've all been in that position.
I mean, I'm not saying you wrong or nothing. It's just when you watch it, because I don't like shows like with bullying in it. Like when we first started watching Kung Fu, with David Carradine. Um, like the first couple of episodes, I was not in. I was ready to shut that down and just not watch that anymore. But then it got better because
he has a limit. Yeah.
Right, but at first it was just let's attack this guy because I know he's supposed to be Chinese.
Mixed. He's half and half.
Yeah. Um but that type of stuff, and it in any show that's just attacking people because and you don't have a reason bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. So, but it got better because they cut that out after about 5-6 episodes, and because if it kept going, I don't think I could watch it. But that's just me. I don't like that type of. I know it goes on. I ain't crazy. I know it goes on, and it goes on today. I know that, but I just don't like seeing it. Thank you, Pastor Rick.
Also made a donation to the channel for the kiddie pool. He says.
We don't know. That's too far away, Robert. We got days.
Yeah. That's like, is this like in a week and a half, isn't it?
It's like a week and a couple of days.
Yeah. And Blue Splash says Peterborg's really good show. I used to like it in the 90s. I remember.
I'll look it up, and if I can find it, I'll save it for us to watch.
Noonan says, what music can neither of you stand to listen to?
Jazz.
Anything after the mid-90s.
No, I can go up to pieces of the 2000s. I can get up into the 2000s because Boys and Men was still out in the 2000s. But then after that, it started getting a little sketchy.
Blue Splash wanted to know if Charlie Brown was based on Christianity. Yes, which is actually the reason why, not because of the bullying, but that's the reason why people wanted to pull it off, because of the speech that Linus makes.
I thought it was that and coupled with the bullying.
The primary thing was him quoting the Bible in the Christmas.
I remember them making a big deal, and then they said they were going to take that scene out. I remember they said they were going to take that part out of the movie.
You may as well not even play it then.
Yeah, I know.
Because that just,
And then it came up with, they wanted to cancel Charlie Brown altogether because of Lucy, because she's a big bully.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
And then there's a cycle to it, because then she in turn is bullied by Snoopy.
I think Snoopy does it to get back at her for how she treats Charlie Brown.
Yeah, but I mean, there is a cycle there.
Yeah.
If you watch everything, they all, the way that they all interconnect.
Yeah.
Robert says, are you going to play Mariah Carey? No. Mariah who? Carey what? And Uncarded said the Snoopy and Red Baron Christmas record was always a holiday
I think I
favorite
have that
in
one.
our household. And
hey,
there's
Restin'.
And yeah, that's right. Robert says Kung Fu had him looking for his brother. Yeah, that was the subplot of everything until he finally finds him at the end of the series. It was the 3 seasons.
He found him.
It was 3 seasons. Yes, he finally found it. His brother's the one that made him ride the horse. Remember?
Ooh, he was mad. He had to ride that horse. He apologized to the horse.
He apologized to the horse. He said, "I'm sorry."
He didn't ride it. The horse had to pull a wagon.
No, he had to ride it. He was like, "Listen, the only way we're going to get there on time is if we ride these horses."
Yeah.
And he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, because he was going to walk, guilty. And it was like we would have to walk all the way to L.A., and that's like 1,000 miles or something.
Yeah, however far away it was.
I remember. Okay.
And he had to suck it up and do it. That was his brother. He finally found him.
Oh, yeah, because when the horse had to pull a wagon, he led the horse.
Yes.
Because the horse had to pull a wagon because he had a dead body, and they had to put the body on the wagon. Okay, I remember now. That was getting close to the end.
Yeah, and Pastor Rick says he likes old school, like Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra. Yeah, see, White Christmas.
That's when you get all those bells.
No, there's no bells in White Christmas. And you like that one.
I do.
Yes, you do. Frank and Frog says the old cartoon Grinch is classic. Yeah. 20 minutes, animated by Chuck Jones.
I like the Grinch. And the Grinch Halloween is good, too. We saw the Grinch Halloween. That one was good.
And Munin says, don't know much about Charlie, but didn't Lucy have a thing for Charlie? No, that was Linus. Peppermint Patty.
Yeah.
Peppermint Patty had a thing for Charlie.
And Lucy liked Linus.
Schroeder.
Oh, Schroeder. Linus was her brother. Schroeder.
And Sally liked Linus.
Oh, okay.
That's how that worked out.
Yeah.
And then Schroeder couldn't stand her.
Oh, Schroeder hated her.
Schroeder used to make her so upset because he was all he wanted to do was play the piano, and she was interrupting. She was interrupting him. She was in the way. That was funny though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've always got a soft spot for the Peanuts because I grew up with it. I used to read the books. Used to read the strips, watch the specials whenever I had the opportunity.
I like Fred Hammond's Christmas album because the songs aren't traditional Christmas songs and it's no bells.
You and the bells.
I can't stand the sound of the bells.
Oh yeah, you used to collect bells.
Yeah, but I didn't ting them.
Oh yeah,
I didn't
you
do
were
that.
sitting there and ring the bells.
No. Watch Brenda Lee go in at a Target and find her own album in the neck of Pretty Cool. What?
I don't know. I think you got a couple things mixed up there.
I don't know who Brenda Lee is.
And Bubble wants to know if Lucy ever let Charlie kick the ball.
I think she did one time. I think he finally did kick that ball.
I don't remember.
I think.
And
hey,
Mark Franco is here from Cape Cod. He likes the John Lennon's Christmas song.
Oh, John Lennon had a Christmas song?
Uh-huh. And Munin couldn't remember the other characters. Jim Carrey as the Grinch.
I never saw Jim Carrey as the Grinch.
I saw it. I didn't care for it. It's but again, that was an adult oriented take. That was meant to hitch a ride on the nostalgia of adults. It really is not a kid's movie. Just like the Michael Myers as the Cat in the Hat film live action is not a kid's movie.
But that doesn't mean it's not good.
Yeah, but I mean, it was okay. But I didn't care. If I never saw it again, I wouldn't care.
I never saw it, and I don't care to see it.
Kind of like, what is it? The Mask. I saw The Mask in theaters, and I thought it was okay at the time. When I rewatched it some years ago, I was like, just didn't feel the same. I didn't care for it anymore. It didn't. To me, it didn't hold up. It wasn't that funny. Blue Splash says Brenda Lee is the woman who sang "Walking Around the Christmas Tree." Okay.
Oh, walking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, and he's doing a third one, The Mask Part 2, which did not have Jim Carrey in it at all. Was absolutely god awful. It was another film that did not need a sequel. And then they come out with now there's they're going to do a Mask 3.
Really?
Yeah, with Jim Carrey. He's coming back to do part
I never
3.
saw. I mean, I know what it's about. The mask, and it gives him powers or something.
Yeah, it's Loki's mask. So you get, from Thor.
Oh, is it really supposed to be Loki's mask?
Yeah. So when you put it on, you borrow his powers.
Oh.
So it's and the more wild your imagination is, the more wild the mask reacts to you. It molds onto your face.
Yeah.
And then, and he was a goofy guy, so it was goofy with him. And it was all right for what it was, but if I never saw the film again, I don't think I would care.
So they had a Grinch horror film? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I'd want to see that at all.
I never heard of that.
And Blue Splash says she's elderly now. She saw her own album in the electronics section at Target.
Oh, okay.
Is that what it is? There we go.
While at Target, I noticed the $35 Super 7 haven't sold.
Yeah.
They're starting to collect.
The demand's not there like it once was. And Nerd says, where do you guys stand on Die Hard being a Christmas movie? I don't think it matters. I know a lot of people say that it is, and I'll go along with that. Hell, I'll tell you Rambo's a Christmas movie because there's a Christmas tree in the sheriff's station.
I never saw
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Yeah, we can watch it. It's actually pretty good.
I don't need to see a movie just because I never saw it.
Yeah, but we have our movie night, and so I've got like hundreds of films. And
David's going to watch Mask 3. They're coming out with a Sonic 3.
Yes, that's right. Reston said, saw a Marvel Masterpiece trading cards at Target, large boxes like the old days, 2 packs of 3 cards for $40. Wow. How bad is Skybox ripping off people today? That's insane.
Hey, Patrick.
Patrick's here. I don't know. I don't do trading cards really. Shelby Rockstar said BMX bikes were a big part of growing up. Yeah, Goonies, Rad, etc. Discovered a growing population of 40-plussers riding again. Thinking about trying a 26 BMX cruiser. Was riding a bike nostalgic for you? No, because I wasn't allowed to have a bike when I was a kid. I didn't have a bike until I was an adult and taught myself how to ride. So, so no, I didn't have that experience growing up. Munin says, funny you mentioned Jim Carrey. He's in the Sonic movies as Dr. Eggman and Robotnik. Because he had said he retired, and then they asked him, how come you're going to be doing this? I thought you said you're retired. Why are you doing these 2 films coming up? And he was like, actually, it turns out I need the money. And I don't know if he's being funny or what, but that's kind of sad. That's kind of Nicolas Cage's. Because Nicolas Cage is like that. That guy burns money. Robert says they're making a lot of horror movies of Disney characters: Mickey Mouse, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Grinch. Yeah, I get.
Oh well, Winnie the Pooh went public.
Yeah,
that's why
they did that. As long as he doesn't have a red shirt on.
Yeah, that's why they did that Winnie the Pooh horror, because he went public, and Batman and Superman is going to be public domain soon, and I heard that once they go public domain, any comic book can take them. Like Marvel can cross them over. They can do anything with them after that.
Yeah, it doesn't sound to me like anything I'd want to see.
No, I don't want to see a horror. Yeah. I saw the Winnie the Pooh. I didn't see it. I saw a piece of a trailer and a picture, and I'm like, what was that? And then I read that is Winnie the Pooh, and because he went public domain, now people can do whatever they want to do with him, and that's what's happening, and that's why you're seeing all of that. And it's like, just because you can do something don't mean you have to.
Doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, don't mean you should. Don't mean you have to. Just leave things alone.
Eric says, do others really don't look forward to New Year's Eve? As a kid, I always disliked it. I never really cared for it. I never cared about it. There's a couple of times as an adult when I was still living in Boston that I did go to the New Year's Eve that takes place in downtown Boston, but it's a disaster because it's so crowded and it's so freaking cold.
When I was a kid, every New Year's Eve, we went to church, and I did that all the way up to an adult. Yeah, we always went to church for
New Year's Eve.
No, the watch night service. That's what they used to call it.
Yeah.
And then as you got to bigger churches, they just call it New Year's Eve celebration.
Would do, in Boston, they did fireworks and they had ice sculptures and they had all kinds of things going on downtown. But then you're trapped downtown. There's a million people. It's like -4 outside. It's just like I did it a couple of times and I was like, nah, never again. It ain't worth it.
I never went out to like parties and nothing like that.
No, I never went to a New Year's Eve party. I never did that.
No.
Munin says they only collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards and that Yu-Gi-Oh's a 20-year-old franchise, so it's technically vintage now.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds is going to be in The Mask 3.
Okay. And Shelby says, isn't Winnie the Pooh actually supposed to be a female bear? I don't believe so. He was always portrayed with a male voice.
Yeah. And as a male.
Yeah.
Because it's always he.
Yeah, I believe that's a male. No, Robert, Batman and Superman is a horror movie.
No, nobody said that, Robert.
No horror movies. I'm not a fan of that anyways, because nowadays horror movie just means gore and jump scares.
Yeah, and just slashing and killing.
Yeah, and it's just, to me, that's just not entertaining. There's no freaking story.
No. Nobody want to see that anyway.
Well, apparently somebody does.
Well, yeah.
But, not me. Not you. I know you don't want to see that. But, that sort of thing doesn't appeal to me at all. I want some kind of suspense. That's why I go back to things like The Shining. That film has fantastic suspense. There's a lot of suspense in that movie.
Psycho.
A lot of tension in that movie.
Psycho was suspenseful.
Even the original Halloween film, the first one.
Yeah.
Because There's no blood in the film. You see no blood in the
Mm-mm.
first Halloween movie. That's very well put together for having almost no budget, and then not even having any blood or gore, anything like that in the story.
Mm.
They did a great job with it. Blue Splash wants to see the Clayface in the new Batman movie. Clayface, see what he actually looks like.
I heard they're gonna do a Clayface movie, and if they do, I hope they use like the original Clayface,
Hmm.
where he was just a regular man that
Yeah,
had plastic surgery, and he could, just mold his face. He wasn't a big clump of clay.
yeah, he wasn't like a full on shapeshifter.
Yeah,
He could he could alter his face temporarily to
yeah.
look like someone else.
Yeah, because he just, just manipulated his skin.
Uh-huh.
But he had some kind of plastic surgery done or something, and he can just mold his face in different ways. And that one made more sense. It was more realistic than in the animated series where he was just like a big blob of clay that just oozed out everywhere. So if they
Hmm.
do something like that, I hope that's what they do instead of the big blob of clay. So I don't know. We'll see, but who knows?
Yeah, Munin says I'm sure we'll have a female Winnie the Pooh in no time.
Yeah,
Yeah, no kidding. They'll get around to it.
yeah, I know.
They'll get around to it. Bumble wants to know. Speaking of Shindana figures, is the 76 Slade Super Agent Shaft in a box? It came exactly the same way these were done. One
Hey,
half,
Brian.
and Brian is here.
Hmm.
One half size box and one deluxe set with extra
Oh,
accessories.
okay.
They packaged it exactly the same way they did OJ and Dr. J.
I never saw Black Horror.
I don't know. I don't think I saw that either. And
What's that? Smith. Hey, I
St. John
seen your twin
Smythe.
in the background.
We
Oh
have a
yeah,
twin in the
the
background.
Santa Claus.
Oh, is that me?
Yeah.
That must be. My beard's not quite at that level yet. Rustin said Psycho was based off
Ed.
Ed Grin. Apparently, they're doing a season of Ed on Monsters Netflix, I think. I don't know. We don't have Netflix anyway.
No, we
No,
used to have
no
Netflix.
Netflix, no Disney Plus.
Nothing that we got to pay for except for Amazon Prime.
Yeah, and then when Netflix got rid of all the Marvel shows, after they got rid of all the Marvel shows, they went in an entirely different direction. Anyways, they got really weird.
We did
So
like the Marvel shows, and we got them on DVD. Well, we got three: Daredevil, Punisher, and Luke Cage.
yeah,
We
because
got those on
those were well
DVD.
done.
Yeah.
And then the Iron Fist, I think they dropped the ball with the Iron Fist. I I, I saw what they were trying to do, but they didn't pull it off. I don't think they pulled it off with Iron Fist. They could have done a lot better. And what was the other one? Jessica Jones. I never saw.
I never
So
saw
I don't
Jessica
know if it
Jones.
was good or
Yeah.
not.
Oh, okay. The Woman in Black.
Woman in Black.
That sounds. Did that come out in the 60s? That seems like something we just saw recently.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Double. I know less than you do. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, they and Shindana Toys also did they had the Wanda. I mentioned that their only proprietary figure from that was Wanda, and they had a regular and then a deluxe Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
And the regular Wanda was a stewardess,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And the deluxe, the bigger package, she was a skydiver with a parachute.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so did something happen to the plane? Because if she was a stewardess in the regular package, then how come in the other package she's got an actual big working parachute? So I guess she just, well, sorry folks, keep your trays in the upright position and keep your seatbelts on, and I'll be seeing you. And jump out of the plane and take off. Nerd says it's
Hammer's
by
still
Hammer.
making films? I thought they were finished by now.
Huh.
I like Hammer films, the older ones. I didn't realize they were still making films. I thought they stopped because I watched a little bit. I didn't see all of the TV show they had. They had the Hammer Horror. I think it was called Hammer Horror Hour or something like that. And they had TV shows, and it was like the show Thriller and
Uh-huh.
that type of show, and a bunch of their movies. So I find myself wanting to watch horror movies as long as there's a story.
Uh-huh.
I watch a lot of 48 hours or murder shows for some reason, but I like MCU, Star Wars, Star Trek, and the like. I like
Okay.
watching 48 Hours in 2020, and David thinks he don't
I
I'll
don't care
binge
for it.
watch it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it like
Yeah.
over and over and over, and then he get tired of it.
I don't care for those too much. Stone Tower wants to know if you have any pre-orders pending.
I do. I got a few on Big Bad Toy Store. I had bought those Bible figures.
I
They had
don't.
those
Yeah, that's been a
12,
minute.
yeah, those 1/12 scale Bible figures. I had ordered those. It was almost a year ago. It'll be a year in March. Um they haven't been released yet.
Too much longer in the
Oh, it'll be
uh
2 years in March because it was
yeah, if it
2023.
passes 2 years, the FTC is going to make them give you a refund.
Well, I
Yeah.
ordered it from Big Bad Toy Store, so they didn't take my money yet.
Okay. Well,
So
you don't have to worry about it
yeah.
then.
But I ordered those because they had those figures. I like my Bible figures.
Sure.
And that's about. Oh, and then I got a couple from Mondo, the animated series. I
Oh,
got,
the 6 scale.
yeah, the 6 scale animated series from Mondo,
Hmm.
and then that Joker figure,
Yeah.
the Hot Toys.
Okay.
Yeah, so wow, I got more than I
Oh
thought.
wow. What am I going to do with you? Reston said Nosferatu movie is at the theater on Christmas. Which
Oh,
one? Which Nosferatu? The silent film or the 70s version?
mm,
Robert says he watches mainly YouTube and Tubi and Pluto.
mm,
And Stone Sour says that he sometimes has to rent. He has to rent.
mm.
Oh wow, you're way behind. Shelby
Maybe.
says the new Hasbro Green Goblin helmet looks cool. I get
Oh,
confused between the Green Goblin and Hobgoblin.
mm.
Hobgoblin is the one with the orange. And Nerd says Christopher Lee was in the last Hammer film called The Resident.
We saw that one.
Hmm. Christopher Lee was classic.
Oh, that was the last Hammer film? Yeah, we saw that one. That one was pretty good.
And Blue Splash says, toy related, do you ever have to make a tough decision where there's something you really want to have, I want to collect, but you just cannot do it? That happens all the time. You see things, especially you go to these shows
Yeah.
and there's something and you're like, oh wow, that would be just great. And the price is just out there. Even if it's a fair price, it's just so high that you just can't do it. That happens all the time with both of us. Especially as many shows as we go to.
I know.
We see a comic or we see a toy or an action figure or something like that we know, oh yeah, this is something that I would like to have. But it's like, oh,
yeah, you got no money for that.
Can't do it. Just
No.
can't do it. Like the Alien, the Kenner Alien. I'd love to get my hands on a Kenner Alien.
That thing costs over $1,000.
It's like $2,000 in the box at least. And there was somebody that had one at the Joe Fest, and I was just like, oh,
yeah, he wanted like $1,200, didn't he?
No, I think it was like 28.
Oh,
and I was like, oh no, there's no way. I don't have it anyways.
Yeah, so
I don't have it anyways. I can't do it. So, but yeah, that happens all the time.
I would love to see that Werewolf by Night. I heard it was so good when it came out, and I thought they were going to do more with that. That one, everybody ranting and raved about how good it was, and then Disney just drops it.
And people were mad too because they were like, well, look at how you did with this. Yeah. Why are you giving us all this other crappy programming? And this one, you nailed it.
Yeah, but then they just drop it and do no more with it.
So the one they get right, they won't do again.
Yeah, but then they set it up like they were going to do more and then did nothing. Mm-hmm. Also, I don't want to see the remake of Salem's Lot, though. I mean, I don't know.
Says Nerd.
Yeah. I like the original Salem's Lot. I read the book. Now they did a remake of it. I don't know.
Yeah, and Munin is saying, "Oh, they made a new Nosferatu movie." Ugh.
Oh
I
gosh.
hope they don't
Okay.
blow it.
Well, I don't know.
Robert wants to know if she's getting the 3030 from Ramen Toys.
I probably would
She
because
does have the Marshall.
And I said I wanted the 3030 to go with the Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, yeah.
I hope they don't. I hope they don't screw it up, because that also, and I don't know if anybody has. A lot of people haven't seen the '70s version. They did a good job on it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
I
the
never
'70s
saw that
one. It's a German film, so you have to make sure you get the English dubbed.
Oh.
But it's pretty good. Classic '70s like vampire type film. Bumble says, do you guys have any Clash of the Titans figures? No. Part of the collection I lost. I had the Clash of the Titans. I don't have them anymore. Not something I've looked for in a long time because it's gotten very expensive.
Whoa, you bought the Megan figure? Oh wow!
Oh really? The
and
it's shipping
scale,
this 1-to-1 scale Megan. Megan, that'd be a figurine then, because it would be made out of vinyl, right? The because they do that. NECA does that sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Weird.
Oh, it's coming out this Friday.
Oh wow. Oh, Sonic 3 says Munin. You know, if you're in James's household, anybody who's watching, when James is not looking or is asleep, you move it to different positions or turn it or do something like that so that he gets nervous. Robert's
going to pick up that Hulk statue because it looks really good by
I've heard that. I've heard that. You have one from him because what's his name? Edwin. Edwin sent you the Wicked Witch.
Yeah.
From Wizard of Oz. James says, "I have the he has the Kenner 18 alien.
He purchased a reproduction box for it.
Okay, off somebody on eBay. So the big chap, they call it, the big chap alien. That's pretty cool." And Robert says, "Why not pick up a NECA alien for a quarter scale? Because I don't want the NECA one."
You don't want the NECA one.
I don't want the NECA one. I'm trying to stay away from modern stuff.
I got the quarter scale Predator. I like that one from NECA when they came out with that Predator.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I remember.
Because I like the Predator. I like the Predator figures. I like the way the Predator looks.
That's her only Hot Toys. She has the original Hot Toys Predator.
Yeah. I like the way the Predator look and the way, they just do different things with it. In NECA, I think they slowed down on the Predator, but they had over 200
they
Predator
needed to slow down
figures.
with it. It was getting weird.
And then I think I told y'all this before. It's a guy on YouTube. He got, it's his whole house,
Aliens
top
and
to
Predator.
bottom. Alien and Predator figures only. It is nothing else in there. He got statues. He got busts,
wall plaques.
Wall plaques. He got Hot Toys. I don't think he got like NECA. He got like high end stuff.
He's got the soundtracks from the films playing in the background as ambiance.
Yeah, and then he got this room. And it's like a spaceship. Isn't it the spaceship?
Yeah, it's a reproduction of the from Predator 2 when the guy was on the ship and they had the trophy cabinet.
Yeah. Man, it looks good. And like I liked the Predator before I saw that. But after seeing that video, I really appreciate, because he got like at that time, because I saw it a couple of years ago. At that time, it seemed like he had every Predator and Alien figure out there. And it just looked so good together. And then the way he had it displayed, and it was literally every single room in the house. He went through the whole house, up the stairs and everywhere. I was like, wow, is it when you sleep? But it looked really good. He had it displayed well. It looked nice. And then I started appreciating the Alien figures because I never really cared for it. Not to the point where I would want to buy it or nothing like that. I mean, I like it in the movie.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, that actually does look good when you see it. When it's displayed properly.
Yeah.
Not when somebody just got it sitting over there in the corner. But when it's displayed properly, it looks good.
I would want the Kenner 90s Aliens and Predator figures because I had the whole set. So I'd like to get that again before it gets too expensive. and of course the original Kenner Big Chap. I'd like to have. I've never had I never had the Big Chap, but I did have the Kenner '90s Alien run. Munin says some of the Predators next putting out looked goofy. I know some were from comics or newer films, but man, they were silly looking. And Reston says we should do a book on collecting retro toys and figures. Put it on Kindle along with a price guide. Well, a price guide would never work.
No,
because it
changes.
You can never. Whenever you used to see guides, I would get the guides just for reference because you can never rely on those prices. And Shelby says, interesting how they tied Prometheus and Alien in the new Romulus film. Creates a new branch to go on. We didn't see Romulus.
I heard Romulus was good though. I heard it was good.
Yeah, that's right. It was Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Nerd says it was Danny Glover in Predator 2. And Predator 2 wasn't bad, even though they didn't have Arnold with it. They did a different story with the same concept.
I liked it.
And it came out pretty good. And yeah, that at the very end of it, when he saw the trophy cabinet, and then he turns around and they all in there. But the fight was over, so they let him go.
Yeah.
It was they get that code of honor. It was a one-on-one thing. Dude, you won. Okay. You're done.
Oh, they had figures for the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Yeah, Blue Splash.
Oh, wow.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and it was based on the cartoon.
Didn't they have a live-action movie of that?
It started as a live-action movie, and the movie was just supposed to be a low-budget parody of horror films.
Okay.
But it was popular with people because of how goofy it was, and it spawned into a Saturday morning cartoon show. One season.
I heard of it, but I never seen it before.
Stone Sour said the Big Chap is his grail too.
Well, that's one of them lottery wins.
And then when you find him, he's always missing the cover on his head too.
Oh yeah,
because he's got that transparent piece that goes right on the top of his head.
But once you win the lottery, you all of a sudden you can find a lot of things.
Yeah, can I?
That you couldn't find before.
I have to play the lottery though.
Yeah.
I don't play the lottery because I don't really gamble. So
when it hit $1 billion, I usually buy one or two tickets. Not the last couple of times though. I never play.
It's up to 600 million right now.
Oh really?
Yeah, I believe so.
I always say I'm gonna play and I never do. I never play.
But yeah, because this is what usually happens. The guy who had the Big Chap in the box, right? He had the Big Chap. You might remember from the live Joe Lanta video that I did. He had the Target game from Kenner, the big stand-up Target game in the box. It was sealed in the box. He had the board game from Kenner. He had all this original 70s toys bought out as a bundle by another dealer. And I hate seeing that. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
If another dealer has the funds, can we work something out and he'll buy out from another dealer? But I always like to see it end up in the hands of a collector instead. Yeah. And that's also part of the reason why we get a lot of the good deals that we do. And I even have people joke with me about it, where I'll buy, I'm asking hey, what's the bottom line on this? And then I don't even know who the guy is. And they're like, are we going to see it in the video later?
Are you going to put it up in the museum?
Are you going to put it up? Are you going to showcase it? And I was like, of course. And I've gotten some outstanding deals just because they're happy to know it's going to sit somewhere like this and just be appreciated and not get flipped. And I've even had, other dealers ask me, well, I don't know. I mean, you looking to flip it and flat out? And I'm like, no, I don't sell. And then I'll pull one of the cards out and explain, who we are. And I was like, oh, okay. And that's how I got the deal on those Mark Safari.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because I was like, he was like, wait, you mean you're really got a toy museum? And I was like, yeah, we it's private, but I mean, yeah, my wife and I, we do this, and he gave me an outstanding deal just because you never see those pieces. It's the first time I've ever seen Mark Safari at any show, which was these two, the gorilla and the crocodile.
Yeah,
and I've been looking for these for a while. See the Mark Safari crocodile, If you can see him in there.
Barely.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to because of the way he's laid out there. And the gorilla from the Buck Hunter series.
Buck
I love that.
Hunter.
I love that name. It's Buck Hunter. And there's my gorilla. There's my gorilla. It kind of looks like the Big Jim gorilla, but obviously it's not because it's an entirely different toy company. And this would predate the Big Jim gorilla, I believe.
Oh, really?
Anyways, yeah.
Oh.
And I'll show you Buck, anyways, just in case you wonder what I'm talking about here. There's only 3 actual action figures in the series, but there's Buck Hunter in the box, and he's a Mark's figure, the Safari Big Game Hunter. I love these, and I love the orange kind of background. It's so 70s, you know, the whole font and the orange and reds and everything, and it's an extensive set.
Yeah, you got everything but the Jeep.
I need the Jeep, the truck, and the tower.
Oh.
So, and
you need a couple
any
things.
of these is hard to find in this kind of condition. But he had both of them, and he was thrilled once he realized I wasn't just trying to flip them. And he was like, you know what? I'll tell you what I'll do, and he gave me a great price on them.
No Super 7 Mezco or NECA Alien
No,
Predators.
I don't want that.
I didn't know Super 7 or Mezco did Aliens and Predator. Did they?
Super
I don't think
7?
so. I don't think they did.
Did they do it as Reaction?
I don't think they did them at all. Or Mezco.
Munin says the older Predator. Yeah, Mezco did do the Alien.
Okay.
Munin says the older Predator movies are fun. The last good film was Predators in 2009. Now Predator gets slaughtered by little girls. Yes, he does. Blue Splash said seen the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes at the Chicago Toy Show and a booth. They're pretty good price.
Okay.
It's one of those goofy lines.
Yeah.
You know, like me with the Food Fighters, the Mattel Food Fighters. I have a couple of them. They're just so weird. Robert says Predator fought everyone and always loses just once. I wish he won. He fought aliens, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Tarzan, and Archie. Yeah, there was an Archie. Stone Sour says great pieces. Thank you. And Munin says that vendor already know who you both are despite not having met them prior means you're becoming popular. It may be time to wear the crown to the shows.
No,
that's
here
right.
We go.
And I'll walk around like this. Huzzah, huzzah.
No, he's going to get that. Was it a scepter?
Oh, yeah, I need a scepter.
Oh, God. And then a robe.
And then I'll walk around like this. I'm the king. I'm the king. Who knows where that's from? Who knows where that reference is? Dollbase says, I know there was some exchange between Marks and Big Jim. The Big Jim eagle and the crocodile looked very much, like the Big Jim crocodile. Yeah, they are similar. Even the tiger. I'll show you the tiger here. And it is kind of, this is bigger though.
I'm working on, I want to get some of that Toxic Crusaders. But yeah, they're very expensive. So I got the Super 7 one, because the original is expensive. And I was actually at, I think it was last year's Joe Fest, and a guy, he had
a few.
Yeah, he had maybe about 5 of them, and they were expensive. But I wish I had went and at least tried to ask him if you bundle up 2 or 3, how much would it be?
Yeah.
But I didn't. And he had them, and they weren't moving, and nobody was at his booth. And usually those kind of people I watch to see how much traffic they get. And he wasn't getting any. And I wish I had made a move and at least asked. Maybe he would have made a deal, because it was the last day. But I would like to get the Toxic Crusaders, the original.
The Playmates.
The Playmates. And when we were at the Conyers, somebody had a vehicle, but it was in bad shape. The box was real beat up.
Yeah. It was rough.
Yeah, and they wanted it didn't. Okay, well, for the shape of the box, it was expensive. If the box was in better shape, it would have been fine. And I looked it up on eBay, and I can get like almost a pristine box.
About the same price.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I might as well just go on eBay and get a better box. Get one in a better box.
The Marks animals though all have a function. They're not just figurines.
Oh yeah.
Like that tiger, he's got a trigger and you pull it and he opens and closes his mouth. Renard says,
No.
have you ever seen some of the original Bob Hope, Dean Martin, and Jackie Gleason Christmas TV specials on YouTube? Um, I saw some of that when I was a kid, but not since.
I've never seen it.
Mutant says retro Toxic Crusader figures on clearance at my Walmart.
Oh, that's the new ones.
Yeah.
I did get one of the new ones that was at Walmart. They had the Toxic Crusader. It was only two. You know, you have Toxic Crusader and Dr. Killamoff, and Walmart never had Dr. Killamoff. Only the Toxic Crusader. Um, but yeah, I was thinking about trying to make a move on the original ones. So I don't know though. We'll see how that goes.
Bumble says he likes the JJ arms. Yeah, I've got both JJ arms pieces. There was supposed to be a play set too, but Ideal never made it. They didn't get that far. But there was supposed to be a play set. Dollbase says the tiger. Yeah, that's right. Big Jim's tiger was made into Battle Cat.
Yeah, they just painted them green.
Yeah, they cut some corners.
Well, I mean, if it's a mold out there and you can use it.
Yeah, but it was too small. I guess the scale wasn't right, so they put a saddle on it. There's some weird thing that went on with it, but you know, whatever works.
The Exo Squad, I got the main figures.
The majority what she's looking for, I think what she wants now is the Jump Troopers. The Jump Trooper 2-packs.
The Jump Troopers are fairly cheap. You can get those in the $30 range.
Yeah.
Jason the Wheel Warriors, I would love to get, but those
she has one.
I have one, and it's like an accessory pack. I actually found it at an antique mall.
Yes.
I found it at an antique mall, and it was cheap. And I think the booth was having like a sale or something, and I actually got it there, and that's the only one I've ever seen. Well, I've seen them at shows loose. I think I looked it up on eBay before, and it's too expensive. And I'm just like,
See, and there's the Exo Squad, one of the Exo Squad figures, by Playmates. It's one of the best. This is right at the highlight of Playmates. It's one of the best toy lines that they ever did. The play value on this is outstanding. You got the little 3-inch figure, and he gets into the Exo suit, and it's got the firing rockets, and there's so much going on with this, and then the cartoon is good too.
Yeah, the cartoon is excellent. If y'all had never seen Exo Squad, that is a cartoon worth watching. Sure. It is a very good cartoon.
These are expensive now, because it's a lot of Playmate stuff from the 90s, didn't hold up as far as value, but Exo Squad is one of them that did. And they're hard to find because they were popular. Like I said, great play value with these toys. And the artwork is pretty good too.
Yeah, and they have Exo Squad, which you saw there. Then they got Exo Squad and Robotech, and then they have the Exo Squad Jump Troopers. And the Jump Troopers were on the show. They were like a specialty team that would link up with the Exo Squad every so often to go on missions.
Yeah, they would to clean up before the heavy equipment came in.
Yeah.
And that's her Jason the Wheel Warriors
one carded Jason
set.
the Wheel Warrior.
Hey, it's unpunched.
Yeah. Now that's another good show if you've never seen it.
It is.
It's well written, but boy, that daddy at the end.
Oh no.
Oh, he gonna make you want to just rip his head off.
Hey, he was waiting on him. He waited as long as he could.
Yeah. Do you dislike it when some of these modern toy companies get a hold of an old license to a vintage toy and then they try to redo them? Depending on who it is, because like I said, Super 7 has Toxic Crusader. And I'm kind of okay with that because the original Toxic Crusaders are so expensive. That's about the only way that some people will get in. Now, I wish that because Super 7 does everything now in the everything in that Ultimate, so everything come in the same box.
Yeah.
Like some of it, I like the Toxic Crusaders. I wish they would do it on a card. but they do everything in the Ultimates box. That's their thing, the Ultimates. But when they started off with Ultimates with Masters of the Universe, that thing used to come on a card. Yeah, I had a few extra. I had a few Exo Squads when I was a kid. They were awesome and very unique. Yeah, yeah, they're pretty good. And that's the one thing, I watch all these cartoons now for the first time. I didn't watch them as a kid, and now I go looking for for the toy like I'm a kid. Because when you was a kid, you looked for the toy. Now I go back and I look for the toy, and then I end up getting them. Those Exo Squad toys appear to have a lot going on. Never seen them anywhere. You rarely ever see them at shows. We were at a show
they're
and
usually loose and missing everything.
yeah, but we were at a show and a vendor, Sasquatch Seth. I buy from him all the time. He's become a real good friend. Um, he had like the whole set, and I bought the whole thing, made a deal with them because I knew they were hard to find and I knew they were expensive. And I asked him, I was like, hey, you have this amount. If I buy all of these, would you take this? And he said, yeah. So I said, okay, I'm
He
getting
didn't
it
even
tomorrow.
haggle.
No, I just said, will you take that? He said, sure, deal. And he stuck his hand out. I shook him. I said, I'll be back tomorrow and I'll have the money. And he said, fine. And he boxed them up and put them away for me. And then he came, because sometime he'll come to the toy swap. And he came to the toy swap and he had some more of figures that I didn't have.
Yeah.
And I got those from him. And then the rest, which was only like three more that I needed, I found it on eBay and Mercari.
Yeah, and they're again great play value with those
Mm-hmm.
because you can do so much with them. They're shorter than a like an raw era GI Joe, but they're jointed like one. And then you can put them in the suits, and the suits are also jointed.
Yeah.
And then they've got all these firing rockets and all these different things that they could do and interact with each other. And it's just a really well thought out toy.
I don't know if they're a part of
They
Robotech,
didn't
but they
start out that
cross
way.
over with
They
them.
later on when they brought the series back, they
Mm-hmm.
tied it in. And Munin says Tamashii Nation's making Hunter X and Gintama next year.
Okay.
And Meemaw says, nice, I'd love to get JJ's extra hands and crime fighting van. I've got the van too. It's kind of buried though. But yeah, they originally also planned on a playset, but it just didn't make it that far.
I'm with you, Andorian. I mean, I don't know why it has to, but that's just
They
like
don't
the
have
thing.
to cost. He says, I wish they'd bring back 12-inch figures that don't cost 200. And it doesn't have to be, like for example, and I was thinking about this when I was in Walmart like a few days ago. They have like this play set because a modern action figure play set. It's generic, made for Walmart, and it's this big helicopter, and it has three 3 3/4 inch like soldier action figures with it. I think it was like $15, and I'm like, okay, you can make this generic thing with three raw size figures, for kids to play with. And I would get that for a little kid, because he can get a lot out of that. As like, okay, this is a toy with some good play value. You got a big chopper. You got these 3 figures. They get parachutes. They got all this equipment. A little Jeep, whatever the hell's in there. But if Hasbro did that, it'd be $180
because you're buying the name.
Yeah, I know, and there is something to be said for that, especially. And he says, Andorian says 200. Hell, you're talking Hot Toys. You're talking more along the lines of 300 and up, and there's no durability to them at all. They fall apart on you, and yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm sick of seeing that. I'm sick of stuff.
and it's not just with toys. You see it with food. You see it with clothes and shoes. Slap a name on it, and now it's $500. You take that name off of it, and it's $3.
Yeah.
Get a thing of ice cream. Now it's Breyer's ice cream, $7. Put Kroger on there, $1.99. Same ice cream.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's the truth. There's no different.
And you guys have heard me go on and on about that before because I've got so many figures, especially vintage ones, and they still hold up. There's nothing wrong with them.
Mm-hmm.
But the modern stuff, it breaks in your hands. Uncarded says, and humanoids are their grail.
Yeah.
He wants them all. The humanoids is a great set.
Yeah, but they're expensive.
They can be expensive. Robert says, in humanoids and visionaries, aren't they in the same scale? No. The Inhumanoids technically are 1/18th scale. It's just that the suits are big because they're in suits. But if you look at the head of an Inhumanoid, the head is the same size as a raw G.I. Joe head.
Mm-hmm.
The suits are mech suits that they get into that makes them appear larger. The Visionaries are 5-inch figures, so they're a different scale entirely. They're in the same scale as like the cops figures. Like let me see. Like if I grab one of these humanoids here, right? If you look at him, you see how tiny his head is.
Yeah.
Because he's actually a raw size, but he's inside a mech suit, like almost like the Exo Squad there, piloting it from the inside. And that's why. But the size of the suit gives the illusion of a bigger figure.
And we talked about that before, K-Munin. You don't know what is going to be on clearance or at Ollie's or Ross or places like that. But now it seems like everything is on clearance or at Ollie's and Ross and places like that.
Yeah.
Because we talked about that before, waiting to see if certain figures would go on clearance. But then you don't know which ones will go on clearance because it seems like some figures just sells out and they're never on the shelf and they never go on clearance. But then within that same wave, you got one or two that's definitely going to go on clearance. But now it seems like the whole thing goes on clearance.
Yeah.
The whole, everything. So yeah, I'll just wait. But wait. Shoot. Because I mean, why pay $180 and then again wait, go to Ollie's and then they give you that little ticket till you can get some money off a military discount or something like that, and you can get even more than $20.
You might could. Blue Splash says he's thinking about selling his hot toys and getting Attack of the Killer Tomatoes with the money.
Oh no. Wow, you really want that Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
I'm not mad at
you.
you.
If that's what you want.
If that's what you want.
Then do it.
And it's just one of those goofy things. It's like the Police Academy figures. The Police Academy figures based on the cartoon look ridiculous. But then so do the Food Fighters. And I've only got 3.
Food Fighters?
Yeah, I've got 3 carded Food Fighters. I don't have the whole set. I'm not even close. But it is what it is. Found them really cheap, so it was a good opportunity at the time, and put them aside. And you never know.
Yeah.
Eventually, I may have the whole set. Maybe not. Maybe Santa will bring them. Did you get me some Food Fighters there, buddy? Got any left over?
Right on it.
Anything left over in the sack from some kids who ended up with coal once upon a time in the 80s? Is that what you're going to do? Hey, whatever. I'll take what I can get. Next show coming up, probably January. We're going to go to... It's Charlie's Collectibles Show. Yeah. CCS is Charlie's Collectibles Show in Stone Mountain. Big place. We toured it once. Yeah,
we filmed it once.
Yeah,
we've been there a couple times.
We did a tour.
What we filmed during
we filmed one of their comic shows.
Yeah, they had Comic Day. The annual Comic Day, and we went and filmed. They had a big thing with a lot of vendors and stuff. It was pretty cool.
And we filmed we might go to the vinyl record show coming up in January. Yeah. Oh, really? James says that Earthworm Jim is coming back. I played that game on Sega. It was actually pretty tough.
You have the Earthworm Jim set.
I do not.
You don't have Earthworm Jim
I
figures.
have two.
Oh.
You gave me those. You gave me two figures. It is not the entire Playmate set. I used to have the whole set. Stone Sour says tour video. Yeah, I mean, if we go there, we'll film. If that's what you mean.
I'm looking for it. There's a couple of records I want. I want to get Enchantment. That's what I'm working on next. Enchantment.
Blue Splash wants to know if they have a lot of vintage figures at Charlie's Collectibles. They didn't when we were there. It's been a while though since we were out there. Most of the vendors have either modern stuff or lots of like MTG kind of stuff.
What's
Magic the Gathering. A lot of those card game kind of cards. Yeah. Tons of that. So and there was a couple of comic vendors. I don't know how much has changed since the last time we were out there because it's been quite a while.
Yeah, the last time we were there was on Comic Book Day, free Comic Book Day. It
was like a year ago.
Yeah, that was in 2024.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of Magic the Gathering because they specialize in that. They have the game nights.
They do the tournaments there.
Yeah, they do a lot of tournaments and stuff like that. And then they had like the video game setup. I don't know if that really took off the way they wanted it to, but they had like a video game section where he wanted to do video game tournaments.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know how that turned out. But they did have a lot of Funko Pop dealers.
Yeah.
When we were there last, because like I said, we were there for free Comic Book Day. And I was surprised with the amount of Funko Pops that was there. I mean, they had other stuff, but then a lot of the people that were there were comic vendors that were there for that day.
Yeah.
So they weren't like permanent setup because they have like permanent booths. Not permanent, but they have like regular booths. So,
but I also know that, and we've talked to Charlie several times, he's trying to diversify the place more and more so to have more of an appeal. He would like to see more vintage vendors and so on in the setup. So I don't know what it looks like now.
Yeah. So we'll go in in January and film and walk around and talk and see what's what. See what's what.
Munin says I should wear the crown and set up a table so I can collect tribute.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's what the P.O. box is for.
You can send your tribute. Hey, Out of Sight, how are you? Out of Sight
is joining us. He says, did you get the Welch's jar sets? No, I did not buy the jelly jars. I was tempted, actually, because, I had those when I was a kid. Not those. I had the older ones from, like, the 70s with, like, Archie and stuff on them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
No, there's not a lot of toy stores or comic stores or record stores. We would have to
go out as far as Second Chance to get to a vintage toy store, I think, right?
I think so.
Second Chance. At least anything that we're looking for.
Yeah.
Because, like, Stuck in Time has mostly new stuff. If they're still around. Is Stuck in Time still open?
Yeah, they are. We haven't been there. Whoa, we haven't been there in years.
Because they have mostly new stuff. But yeah, to get to see anything vintage, we would have to probably go as far as Second Chance. Munin says, to be fair, this Funko Pop deal is at most shows. There's more Funko Pops than actual humans walking the earth.
Yeah, but Charlie Collectibles is like a flea market.
Yeah, well, no, it's like an antique mall. It's more like an antique mall, but it's all
toys,
nerd stuff.
Yeah, it's all like toys and Artist Alley and Magic the Gathering and that kind of stuff. But they have booth. You rent out a booth and you sell your wares. But the last time we were there, it seemed like the majority of the people had Funko booths, and they were big booths. And that was all they had. And I was like, whoa, I was just surprised. I mean, I like Funko Pops, but whoa, there's a lot.
There's Austin.
Hey, Austin, how are you?
And Munin says, eating the old jelly would have made for a great video.
Yeah.
People think I should eat the jelly.
No. I don't know.
Put
You might get
it
sick.
on some toast.
You might lose 10 pounds in 3 days.
Oh, wow. I don't know. You think I could stand to lose 10 pounds?
No.
Because I'm like rock solid muscle here. I'm not.
But that jelly probably good though.
Yeah, because I mean it is a preserve and it is still vacuum sealed. It might be good.
And visit. They have a lot of stuff.
Toy Federation.
Yeah, in
Greenville. We should go to in South Carolina.
Yeah, where they have the show that we didn't get to go to this year.
We didn't get to go there. You know where we wanted to get out to was Sasquatch Toys.
Yeah, that's in Alabama. I still want to go. I might go before the end of the year.
This year?
Yeah.
Or next year?
This year.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. If Seth is out there. Because you know Seth he'll want us to film.
Yeah, I mean we can film without him there. It'd be nice if he's there so he can walk us around and talk and give us a little spill. But he has a team.
Yeah. Munin says one day we'll wake up, open the door, and see Pops have overtaken the planet with no space left to move. It'll come down. It'll be like hailstorm, but it'll be Pops, and you'll have to get the shovel out and make a path to your car. And Meemaw says I was at Leech Pit Records looking for some vinyl. I realized the shop was stuffed in every nook and cranny with toys.
Ooh.
I was like, man, that's a lot of toys for a record store. Retro now.
Oh man, I want to go.
Okay.
It might be some nice stuff.
Maybe.
And then they might have it cheap because it's a record store.
Yeah. And then it'll be overpriced and they won't budge. But then you'll find them at a record show, and then they'll make all kind of deals.
Yeah.
Can you ever notice that? I bring that up sometimes. Like you go, especially comic shops are famous for this, and they will not give you an inch on a price. They won't give you they will not budge at all. The price is the price is the price. But then you'll catch them at a show and be like, oh yeah, we could do this. But of course, they're thinking of their overhead. Because transportation, the cost of the table, whatever else they got going on is as a motivation factor for them to move their product. But at the shop, for some reason, they won't do it. They won't do it, and it's like, come on, man, don't you want to move this?
Nope.
You've had this for a year. You had this for 5 years. This has got layers of dust on it. Meemaw says, bingo. Bingo.
Yeah, you're right.
Bingo. Yeah, bingo, bango, bongo. It's got layers and layers and layers of dust.
Mm-hmm.
It's got dust from like an Egyptian tomb on it. Like, what was that? That's what Charlie said about Pigpen.
Oh yeah.
Like, that dust has history. It could have come from an ancient kingdom.
You know what was funny? We saw an episode of Transformers last night.
Oh God, that one was funny.
And they were at this nightclub. They were at the nightclub, and Soundwave and what's his name?
Blaster
was doing like a face off.
Yeah, Blaster is like, oh, I've been waiting for this. And then Soundwave goes, all talk, no shock. To be fair, Soundwave kicked his ass. He had to cheat to win.
Yeah.
He cheated.
Soundwave was wearing him out. But that was a good episode. And then it kept name dropping like Michael Jackson and Prince and
all kinds
somebody
of stuff.
else. And then they were break dancing and doing all this stuff.
No, and I like that. They were breakdancing and the guy comes along and he grabs the cardboard and pulls it out like a rug. Whipping a carpet out from under and they all go flying. Like, hey man, what's your deal?
We actually saw that today at the antique mall we were at. We have not been to this particular antique mall for a year. And then I remembered it was a year because my dad was here last year during this time, and we went. And they had this play set in the exact same spot.
Same price.
Same price a year ago. I don't know how long it was, how long it's been there, but it was there at least a year. And they got the exact same price, the exact same sign, sitting in the exact same spot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, this hasn't moved. You don't have a like a sale. You know, you go to the antique mall and they'll put up a sign say everything is 20% off except firm. Then you look on the sticker and everything says firm.
Yeah.
They don't have none of that. And it's like, if you want to sell that, you probably want to drop the price or do something.
Have a sale, take it home.
Do something.
Rotate it so it looks like something's moving.
Yeah.
Or spark some interest maybe. Munin says it makes no sense how some vendors won't drop the prices.
That's what I was commenting on.
Yeah. And Nerd says he uses Jedi mind tricks when it comes to haggling. Yeah, and then the thing is though, the vendor is usually Jabba the Hutt. Ho, 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 ha, ha, ha.
With track, yeah, that's the one with tracks and sound blaster. It was just those two, Soundwave and Starscream. Nobody else was in it. They showed like a clip of Megatron for like a second.
Yeah.
But it was just them. And then they were hypnotizing the people.
And they were in what was the name of the club?
I can't
Discotron or something like that.
I think it was Discotron.
And then the song that was playing in the background was Cold Slither.
Mm-hmm, from G.I. Joe. When they did Cold Slither, the band, and they were singing that song, that was the music that was playing.
Well, remember the first season of the Transformers, the music was awful.
Yeah.
But then the second season, they started borrowing movie from the G.I. Joe cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, we're almost at the 2-hour mark, so we're going to go ahead and sign off.
Yeah.
So we'll say thank you to everybody who was able to join us here today. Thank you, guys who made a donation to the channel. Pastor Rick and Stone Sour made a donation to the channel to help our kitty fund. Always appreciated. And thank you everyone else who was able to pop in and say hello. Hope you enjoyed the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll catch you again sometime.